Good morning. It's me, Mikey Pipes. And today, Godzilla. Today, we are installing a Fujitsu 9000 BTU single zone ductless system. It is May 4th. It's approximately 45 degrees. It's sunny out. Look at that, the sun. We're blessed with the sun today. And I'm blessed with Godzilla. And I just told Godzilla on the way here that he is deserving of a raise. So we hooked him up.
Yeah, he did.
Mikey Pipes hooked him up.
Thank you, man.
And we're gonna let him get some hands-on experience today on this Fujitsu AOUG9. It's got built-in Wi-Fi. And we're gonna put the indoor unit up there in that bedroom up there, and we're gonna hang the outdoor unit right over here. All right. I got all my vacuum equipment. I got my Testo refrigeration gauges. I got everything. I even got dry feet. I'd like to give a special shout out to my wonderful and loyal subscribers, all 35.7% of you. 35.7% of the people, the viewers of this channel, are subscribers. So if you haven't done so already, let's bring this channel to the moon. To the moon! Isn't that right, Godzilla?
To the fucking moon.
We're gonna go to the moon in a Mikey Pipes rocket, and Godzilla is gonna be the boost, the thrust that brings us there. All right, stay tuned while we get this job done. All right, let's get this show started. All right, first, I'm gonna attach the wall-mounted bracket to the house right here. It's gonna end right about here, so I'm not interfering with any of the discharge off this central AC condenser. But just a helpful fact, this April and then again this May, we are replacing these old 12 SEER train condensers with the associated air handlers that both of them are in the basement, and we're putting in 17 SEER systems, and we're actually relocating them down past there because he's redoing his pool and redoing the pool equipment, so it'll be a moot factor anyway. But we are clear from that. To connect this bracket, I got my Milwaukee M12 impact driver. I got an extension on that with a 1/2-inch socket, and I'm going to hook these up right there. A helpful tip is I measure the distance between the two mounting feet and make sure that my spread there is good, because once that's secured to the wall, you know, those don't like to slide too easily. So, helpful tip. She's stuck on you. She's stuck on you. There you go. All right. Unit is secure to the wall. All 4 feet are secured to the wall-mounted bracket. We're gonna hook up the electric line voltage and then get the show on the road. We're going all the way up there, the line set. It's gonna be a nice, sweet install. And we're not blocking exhaust at all. And even if we were, we could push the condenser out a little bit for clearance. So we're good. All right, real quickly, let's take a look at the electrical requirements of this unit. It's 240 volts. Minimum circuit breaker is 9.7 amps. The maximum breaker is 15 amps. And if you take a look at the instructions, it says be sure to use crimp type terminal for terminal block. In case you guys don't know what that is, if you can't tell by that picture right there, it's one of these. Now, this is the first time I'm actually installing their newer models. This came out late in 2020 into 2021, which we're in now. And take a look at this serious flaw. It don't go in there, right? It's wider than the little plastic protections for each terminal. That's a bad design flaw, Fujitsu. Bad. So now I'm gonna have to use, let's see if this will fit in there instead. That fits just about. So we're gonna use that instead. That really sucks. Yeah, it'll fit in there. It's tight, but they'll fit in there. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut these off and use that instead. I already see the comments like, why are you using 2 separate tools when you can just use one? Right?
Yep.
Mikey Pipes is using the needle nose, and he's also using the crimper. So, okay, you know what? Let's use one tool for both.
Yeah.
You know, feed the people.
Right.
The sun went away. Godzilla took off his hoodie, and then the sun went away.
Yeah, and it got cold.
It did get a little cold. It's like now it's like in the low 40s.
Yeah. Fucking with us.
Yep. Let's get another one of these bad boys. Put that on right there. Right there. Let's crimp. Okay. Last one. For line 1, line 2, ground. Let's get you in right about there. Okay. Now, let me put this ground screw back in because obviously I'm not using that circle little thing. You getting in there? Yes, you are. Good. Ground. We'll go in there like that. Should probably get a flat. Hold on. Because
It's outside.
There it is. Okay. Let's do line 2. There's no particular order I'm doing this, but I like to make line 1 always black, line 2 red, ground is always ground. Let's see if this thing's gonna cooperate. There we go. Gotta loosen that up just a little bit more. Interrupted by the phone call. See this thing, I don't like this design. It's tight. It's tight and it's starting to bend right there.
And this is one of those things you can't lick it before you stick it.
You can't lick it before you stick it. You are correct. You have to just stick it in.
Yeah, force it in there.
Why don't you want to go in? Let's see, maybe I'll spread it a little bit. Okay. Now it's all twisted. Look at this. Mikey Pipes is under pressure.
Nice camera action.
Okay. Why are you being such a bastard to get in? Why? All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm just aggravated. I'm aggravated and I'm pissed off because. No!
Oh, okay. Please don't do that.
Don't go away. Okay.
There we go. That bitch better fucking go in.
Oh, yeah, she's getting in there, all right. Okay. Back to the flat. Someone's gonna comment that I needed the right size tip on the Phillip bit. You are correct. Okay. They are all there, nice and snug. Snug. See that? Look at that. It looks like perfection. Looks like perfection. But Mikey Pipes is far from perfect. I'm not a saint. I am just Mikey Pipes. For all you guys out there, what am I going to do with that one? I'm going to put that in there like that, and that's going to be our control wire right here. All right, Steven, you know what time it is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
All right, now we are in the indoor location. We're putting the unit right approximately there, about, I want to say about 3 feet from the ceiling. This is a cathedral ceiling here. You know, we don't want it all the way up there. We don't want to suck in all that hot air over there. We want to put it right there, about 3 feet from that top right there. So we're going to open it up out of the box, which is right there, and get the mounting bracket out and secure that to the wall right there. All right, let's review. There is my wall bracket, and there's a line there and a line there, and you meet these two up, and X marks the spot. This is our access hole for both refrigeration lines, the condensate drain, and the electric. Now, if you recall, I was saying outside, I hope I'm not gonna hit the security camera. Well, watch this. I'm basically right on top of it.
What happened?
I said I'm basically right on top of the security camera, the hole. Just makes it, look at that, just makes it. Anyway, right now, Steven is running the communication and power line that feeds that indoor unit with power, and it tells it what to do. It's coming down the ladder. I am going to connect this to the indoor unit. I'm going to connect it before I hang the unit on the wall. You'll see how I do that in just a few minutes. Well, actually, about right now. All right, there's the indoor unit terminal block. We have ground, 1, 2, and 3. And I like to use black, white, red. Matching that, make sure you use those crimp connectors on there. Make it nice and secure. Gotta love Fujitsu. Mm-hmm. You know, this guy is, you know, that and a guy who lives around the corner, the Toaster King? Yeah. This is one of his best buddies. Uh-huh. And I'm surprised he didn't, what were you gonna say?
That he didn't recommend him Friedrich.
Oh, you mean Suckass?
Suckass.
Oh yeah, Friedrich, AKA Suckass. No, we don't do that. We only install Fujitsu. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look at the history, the channels up above maybe. Maybe I'll figure out how to put this video up in that box, and you'll see why Friedrich is a horrible system to install. Okay, now that my electrical is done and wired to the indoor unit, I am going to position my line set on top, right? And you'll see what I mean in a second. My drain on the bottom and my electric along the side. And what works for me is throwing a little electrical tape here to hold it nice and secure. And at the end, that way I could fish it through that hole right there. All right, watch this. All right, this is the bottom. That's my drain. Here's my refrigeration lines, and there's my control wire. I'm gonna pick this thing up, and without even using the mighty bracket, I'm gonna shove it in through that hole. I got Godzilla outside, and seeing if I need any help with that, he'll help me feed it along. All right, got that set up just nicey nice. Just like that. Look at that. Just like that. All I have to do now, put on the front cover, throw on these, put the thermostat over there, and we're done inside. You're taping me?
Yes, sir.
And I'm taping you. Mikey pipes on top of the ladder.
Double feature.
Yeah. Maybe we could be picture in picture on this one.
You know what I'm saying?
So there is my 100 millimeter or wall outlet. We're gonna throw some spray foam up in there. I'm gonna take my my hider line and bring this straight down with some couplings. All right, already got two, you know those outdoor rated sheetrock screws there. We'll fill that in. We'll be good to go. I like to do this first, and then we'll run the line set. Stay tuned. All right, let's take a look at our track system. It's in place. This is the first step. Next, we're gonna run the line set, drain, and electrical. Electrical is already coming down, but there's my first section. I got a coupling, another section, coupling. I cut a shorter section. I got a flat 90, another short piece here to get behind the condenser, and then with another flat 90. And I'll just transition here with my line set to my connections there. I got my foam to fill in the gap up there. We're gonna do this once we get everything else solid pressure tested and pulled the vacuum, because once that stuff is in place, it's hard. It makes a mess. So we'll make sure everything's solid, and then we're gonna spray foam the hole. All right, and the weather is still holding up, thank God, and we'll get this done. All right, there you go. Steven just cut off the ends. I'm just gonna expose a little bit more of it using my Gerber knife right here.
Yes, sir.
Get off. The blade is dull. Okay. Now, we're gonna make a flare. Okay? Let's see if Mikey Pipes knows how to make a flare. And let's see what we're gonna do. Am I gonna flare the 1/4 inch right now, Steven?
Yeah.
Yeah? Am I gonna do that right now, or am I missing a step?
You're missing a step.
What step am I missing?
You have to put the flaring.
Ah, look at that. Even though it's been all winter long, he still remembers. Yes. We got our nut on first. Make sure it's in the right direction, not upside down.
Yeah, no.
And let's just slide this guide right over there. So the top of the 1/4 inch is hitting that. I'm gonna slide over the yellow jacket flaring tool over, and then we're gonna flare. Now, some of you guys are gonna say, well, I could take this off and hook up my impact drill to it, driver. I can, but I like this.
Yeah, me
it
too.
works for me. It works for Mikey Pipes.
100%.
Okay. So this is that side.
Look at that beauty.
Look at that. Nice, perfect flare. Now, let's go on to the next one. Put this off to the side. Make sure nothing gets inside of it. We're gonna do this quick. We're gonna get that roll of 3/8. I had this old roll in the shop. This white insulation is not UV resistant, gentlemen. The newer stuff with the black coating on it is. But I had this in the shop, and I just found it hidden. So I figured we gotta use it, and the line set's covered anyway. But let's make note of that. The white ISO climb is not UV resistant. All right, pull that off. Okay. Now, there's that little tubing cutter.
Oh, I got it.
Always right in front of your face until it's not. Let's use our little rigid tubing cutter to cut the 3/8 tubing. What's interesting about this tubing cutter, it's missing something.
Yeah.
And a little worthless tip of information, and Mike even didn't notice up until recently. You know, on some tubing cutters, you have the little grooves on the wheels. You know what that's there for? The little grooves? It's not on this one, but to cut off the flare. You can actually put it right on the flare and cut off just the flare.
Really?
Yep, the ones with the grooves.
Oh.
So the next time you look at a pair of tubing cutter,
Is it just because that's a small one, or is
that's
it...
just because, I don't know, this one's just not for this, I think.
Oh, okay.
All right, now we have our 3/8 nut. Put that on there like that. And you know what? I'm gonna get some hate. They're probably gonna say, why aren't you reaming it? Well, I'm flaring it. So, I don't. But, prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Tell me why, what would be the benefit of
Reaming.
reaming out the inside burr of this when I'm flaring it, and this little cone of the flaring tool is doing the same thing.
Exactly.
All right. Next, we are going to use torque wrenches.
Got him.
We're going to do this the right way, like
Yes,
we do it
sir.
every day. And every time.
Yeah.
So there's the next flare right there.
View.
All right, time to use a torque wrench and tighten up these flare nuts. So I have a 1/4 inch and I have a 3/8 inch diameter line set. So my 1/4 inch, I'm torquing between 11.8 to 13.3. So let's safely say 12.5 feet. All right. And our 3/8, 23.6 to 31, so let's say around 25. All right. Let's go to my yellow jacket torque wrench. There's feet, and the other side is NM. It's hard to see that, guys, but you unlock it by pushing that down. And then when we make our adjustment by turning this back and forth, we set it to where we want to be. So our first one, we're going to set to right around, my one-handed pipe. There you go. So we're right around where we need to be with that. So we're going to lock this into place like that. I got my appropriately sized tip on there. I'm going to start with the 1/4 inch. Now I got to do that up there, so you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to hold back on my adjustable. And once this thing makes that little tick sound, we know we're at the right torque. All right, stay tuned. All right, let me see if I can get you to hear that tick. Oh yeah, hold on. I just did a Godzilla.
Yeah, you lefty righty.
Yes.
Lefty
Let's
tighty.
wait for the airplane to stop. All right. Hear that? That's what you want to listen for. I'm set at the right torque. Wrong side. There you go. Actually, what is that? That's a 29, it looks like. We need to be a 35, so let's increase that. And let's give it a little extra on it. She's good. Now for the 1/4 inch. Steven, you want to know one thing I learned as being a YouTube creator? I learned that if I don't show it, I get crucified.
I know, yo.
Crucified.
I saw that yesterday with the carbon monoxide detector. Like they were like, "Oh, why don't you put the batteries in it?" And then at the end, you did.
Exactly.
Watch the whole video.
So exactly. So you guys saw me do the 3/8, but you didn't see me put the Nylog on it. So we're gonna put a little Nylog on right on that little part right there. Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit Nylog, and make sure our fingers are clean, right? Just a little Nylog right there. And then we're gonna get that on there. Show you right there. Look at that, and then we'll get that on there, just like that. Now we're gonna get our flaring tool. What's up? Blah 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 blah. We're gonna get my torque wrench and tighten that up with the right size bit on it. All right. Remember, lefty loosey. I am hitting this fence, kind of restricted space, but lefty loosey, righty tighty. Come on, get on there, buddy. There you go. Let's see. Just clear the fence right there. There it is. See? Listen to that noise again. Ready? See? We're at the right torque. All right. I'm just going to hook up the control wire to the terminals there. And then we're going to start our triple nitrogen and vacuum process. And for vacuuming, I got the Fieldpiece right here. I love it. It's the HCFM pump, the VP85. It's a great vacuum pump. All right, let me do the electrical. All right. Don't you love that statement? Federal law prohibits removal of this label before consumer purchase. Well, actually, he already purchased it, so we don't need that anymore. Instead, we'll put a Mikey pipe sticker right there. Anyway, we're doing the vacuum process right now. I like to bring my vacuum micron gauge to at least 300 microns at least, and then do a quick little decay test and see how far that increases. Rule of thumb for industry is 500 microns. So as you can see, we're at 297. It's been roughly about 15 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes. We're gonna let that sit and see what happens. Steven's putting on the rest of the covers on the line set covers. I'm gonna put this on and then release the charge, start her up. Stay tuned. All right, she's been hovering around 330 for a little bit. I'm gonna take the Allen keys and open up the service valves. Back it out just a little bit. Open this bad boy up. Back it out just a little bit. Put our caps back on. Make sure they're nice and tight, not hand tight. Adjustable wrench tight. Okay. Okay. Good. Do that quick so you don't lose any charge. And let's get the service port cap back on. If you made a mess, you know, wipe up the oil, the residue, because that's a telltale sign of a leak for the next guy who comes out here if there's any service being done on this. All right, let's put this electrical compartment cover back on. We'll get that cover on and start her up. All right, there she is. Just turned her on. I got the remote for test. I'm setting it to heat, 88 with high fan. Give that a few minutes to heat up, and we'll clean up outside and we're done. So Godzilla,
What's up?
how do you think we did?
It's 11:01. Just saying.
I think actions speak for ourselves. Pulled down to the right amount of microns, used the Nylog, used the torque wrench.
Didn't cut one corner.
Didn't cut any corners. You know, the line set covers are installed right, hiding almost the entire line set except for maybe like 8 inches.
Yeah.
But most importantly, I invited, you know, the problem with that room, with that cathedral ceiling where we put this high wall unit on the wall, was that in the summertime, it's too hot. And in the wintertime, it's too cold. So before I invited the homeowner up to the room, I set it for 88 degrees. And I left and I closed the door. And I waited about 10-15 minutes and I invited the lady of the house. I think she was wearing the pants on this one, by the way. I invited her upstairs. She opens the door and goes, I may be sleeping in here now.
You got space for more.
We do have space for more. Yeah. What's great about these mini split systems is that if you have a room, a part of your house where, you know, the indoor comfort isn't comfortable, this is a solution.
100%.
You know, this house has 3 central cooling systems and heating systems using forced air with furnaces, and you know, once the thermostat on the second floor is satisfied, it doesn't know what the temperature is in these bedrooms.
Exactly.
You know, so it's a cheap alternative to zoning an existing system, and the results are immediate.
Exactly.
And like I say, it's cost-effective, instant gratification. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate it if you could support this channel by hitting that subscribe button down below. Be well, God bless, stay warm, stay safe.